Greetings from the far side of the galaxy. I'm Fuuri, your host with the most, here to tell you a story about some very guilty gears. Okay, well, not actually a story about any guilty gears, it's actually about Baiken. No, not Baiken, but the boob lady from Guilty Gear. No, the other boob lady. The other boob lady. That's right, today I'm telling you everything you need to know about Baiken. But before we begin, do be sure to check out this video I made over Happy Chaos. Due to YouTube's perfect copyright system, my channel got deleted, so that video kind of died 2 days after I published it. So give YouTube the middle finger and show that video some love, after liking and subscribing of course. Now that I've showed my own content, let's start this video proper with me telling you everything you need to know about Baiken. Let's start where Daisuke once did with Baiken's inspirations. Baiken's name is likely based off of Shishido Baiken, a samurai slain by the legendary Miyamoto Musashi. Although Shishido used a kusarigama, not a sword. Design-wise, she appears to be based off of Himura Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin, notably taking Himura's long hair and the facial scar. Aside from that, her general aesthetic appears to be taken from Japanese chanbara or samurai films. Chanbaras were popular in the 60s and 70s, which is seen in Baiken's intro and outro. I would read them to you, but they're pretty long, so I'll just throw a translation on screen and tell you to pause the video. Thus closes the door on her inspiration, so let's get talking about her role in the games. To begin, in Guilty Gear 1, she was a secret boss and a character that would be unlocked after beating arcade mode. There were special conditions you had to meet for this to happen, kind of making her Guilty Gear's version of Akuma. Oh, and fun fact, her second color in Strive is a reference to her design in Guilty Gear 1. Baiken would then become a normal character and get some lore in the next game. Baiken, surprise surprise, is Japanese, meaning she was raised in a colony. You see, when Justice, a bioweapon known as a gear, woke up, she renamed Japan into a huge fucking hole. The remaining Japanese population were forced into colonies that they couldn't leave. She was a childhood friend of the fan favorite Anji Mito. Sadly, she was born during the Crusades, a 100-year war humanity had with Justice's gear army. Fortunately, she was born during the tail end of it, so she didn't have to deal with it for the most part. Unfortunately for her, she was born just in time for both of her parents to get killed by a gear. It was in this traumatic event that Baiken lost her eye and arm and took up the sword, swearing revenge. She left the colony so she could hunt down that man. No, not that man. That man. Frankly speaking, it's a very basic backstory that covers the usual themes of revenge sucking ass. In Guilty Gear 2, well, not 2, but X, her story has her hunt down the bounty on Dizzy. Thankfully, Dizzy doesn't get stibbity-ibbity-abbed after Baiken loses her mood or drinks with Johnny, depending on the ending. In Guilty Gear XX, her story ends with her meeting Asuka, who simply apologizes for the harm he's caused. This causes Baiken to wonder if she's on the wrong path in life. She puts those feelings aside in time for Accent Core when she hunts down Ino. When she finds Ino, she brutally hacks her to bits with her sword? And is eventually hunted down by Kai the Cop Kisk? Oh no, wait, sorry, I got my timelines confused. That's her non-canon ending. Her canon ending has Baiken turn her attention to the Post-War Administration Bureau, or the PWAB, or the PWAB as I like to call it. The PWAB is a governmental body established after the Crusades. Think of it as like an evil version of the UN. Correction, it's just like the UN. But before Baiken can get all stabby with them, Anji convinces her to chill out as the two travel together. Moving on to Zerd or Xard or however you pronounce it, Baiken gets a call from Anji telling her to go to the colony for answers. Instead of answers, she finds Answer. He tells her to watch out for the Universal Will, aka Ariel's, aka the main antagonist of Zerd. She then goes with Mei to protect Kumhei Hyun while she tunes to a tree to prevent the Japanese people from turning into gears. Don't ask, it's Guilty Gear, it's weird, just accept it. She and Mei fight off the Pope's bodyguard, the Phalanx, again, don't ask, as Soul beats Ariel, saving the day. Thus concludes her role in Zerd as we move on to Strive. We learn from Anji in Strive story mode that Baiken befriended Delilah. Delilah is Bedman's sister, so I guess that'd make her Bedwoman? Baiken apparently learned a thing or two from Delilah, which is elaborated on in Strive's arcade mode. In her first ending, we learn that Baiken has got a new sword, one she named Regret. Well, I can't say Guilty Gear is known for being subtle. In her second ending, we learn that she has the same power as Nagaryuki to divine weak points. Nagaryuki says he can't beat her yet, but he does hope to learn from her again before he leaves, ending Strive's arcade mode and Baiken's story so far. Honestly, I wasn't too much of a fan of Baiken until Strive. Revenge plots are done to death, so it's nice to get some time to see a character at the end of one. She appears to have set aside her need for revenge and is now looking for something to fill that void. The fact that she is a weak point diviner like Nagaryuki likely sets up further interactions between the two. And Nagaryuki's line about wanting another lesson from her sets up Baiken as a sensei, which I fuck with. Maybe it'll show up in the side story that comes with Strive's final DLC, but only time will tell. As always, thank you for watching and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And as always, this is your host Fuuri signing out.